So, like I said, we do sincerely apologize for that. But, boy, we've been going now here for, well, almost 4 hours, if you could believe it or not. So, yeah, apologies for that, that we went off the air. That's just the way live TV works sometimes. Although I know why it happened, that's for sure. So, yeah. But anyway, yeah, I don't know exactly what happened there. We hope that it won't happen again, especially, when we've got all of you watching. I know a lot of you are blowing up X right now. So, let's recap what happened the third period. Yeah, so apologies for that, everybody. Okay. Well, when we recap that third period, Corey Perry scored with, well, a little over 17 seconds left from Jake Wallman and Connor McDavid. That made it tied it up at 4, and that's why we're going to overtime. And there was no penalties that period. And it's official. Texas wins the College World Series 10-4. MLB scores from across the country. Tied up at 2. The Mets are at the Rockies in the middle of the 8th inning. The Reds at the Diamondbacks got suspended. It was tied up at 3, so the game will now continue tomorrow at 2:10 Eastern Time. So, yeah. Anyway. Okay, Cardinals right now lead the Dodgers 4-0 in the top of the 7th inning. Right now, middle of the 6th, actually. The Angels lead the Mariners 5-4. Top of the 5th tied up at 4. The Orioles are at the A's. Top of the 4th, right now, the Giants lead the Braves 3-1. The Rays lead the Marlins 4-3. They beat them earlier today. Pirates beat the Phillies 5-4 on a walk-off. Nationals beat the Rangers 2-0. Yankees beat the Red Sox 9-6. Tigers beat the Cubs 3-1. Astros beat the Guardians 4-2. White Sox beat the Royals 7-2. Blue Jays beat the Twins 6-4. And then the Padres beat the Brewers 2-0. Then American Association now. I think most of them are all finals. Yeah. Earlier tonight, Lake Country beat Sioux City 7-2. Milwaukee beat Gary 15-4. Right now, bottom of the 9th inning, that's still going on. Kansas City leads Winnipeg 6-2, although that might be over with. Cleburne beat Chicago 7-2. Lincoln beat Fargo 7-4. And then the Canaries beat Kane County by a score of 4-3. So, yeah, we're just going to stay on the air. Normally, we would actually be in a commercial break right now, but because we inexplicably went off air that damn early, we're going to stay on because, yeah, I don't know why that happened, to be quite honest with you. But you know what? As they say, crap happens, so. But we're so glad you could be here still. Yeah, I'm trying to see. I think it said because of copyright, because, we played Morgan Wallen's song, but it doesn't say I have a copyright strike or anything like that. So it's like, what the fuck's going on? Yeah, everybody can still watch it, so I don't know why it's deciding to be that way, but it just is. And we just have to all suffer because of it. So, yeah. Ain't it just lovely how that happens? But we are going to overtime. That is coming up here in about 1 minute. So, get hype. Of course, Leon Draisaitl was the hero for Edmonton on Wednesday night. So, who's going to be the hero tonight? And will it be for Florida or will it be for Edmonton? Who knows? We will see. Here we go with overtime.
That was Wednesday night. Draisaitl
Well, we're back. Corey Perry is the guy who sent us here. Now who's going to end it? That's the question. Corey Perry getting his, well, let's see, how many is that total for him on the year? It's his 8th on the postseason so far, so we'll have to see how this one goes. 40, one of the oldest players to score in a Stanley Cup final game at age 40. But like I say, the 40-year-old wonder. Mark Recchi was in a Stanley Cup final at age 43, and yet Gordie Howe wasn't. What the hell is up with that? God only knows on that one. But here we go.
1951. Goal scored by Ted Sloan at 1928 of the third period.
Well, for the second game in a row, we've got overtime. 20 minutes on the clock. We almost went a full overtime period on Wednesday night. How long will we go here this evening?
2014, the last time games 1 and 2 of the Cup.
Alexander Barkov, or Sasha Barkov as we like to call him around here, will take the draw with Connor McDavid, McJesus. Although Sasha Barkov wins the draw, so anyway. Puck will roll back behind the net there of Stuart Skinner. At center, McDavid handles this one, picked up there by Aaron Ekblad. Puck sent off the boards back behind the net there for Stuart Skinner, although Jeff Skinner does play for Edmonton. So here's Draisaitl with it, down there in the corner. Draisaitl back behind the net there with Bouchard. Bouchard tipped out towards center ice. Here's McDavid with it. McDavid tipped there in front of the goal. Here's Draisaitl there in front. Shot save made by Bobrovsky. Puck taken out there towards center ice. Tkachuk sends one into the glove of Stuart Skinner. Here's Brett Kulak with it. 1 minute has gone by here in this overtime. Kulak back behind the net. Sends it out there to Evander Kane. Lundell with it. Lundell feeds it back behind the net there for Seth Jones. And a scramble for Trent Frederick is there too. Puck sent back behind the net there. Darnell Nurse with it. Nurse mishandled there by Nugent Hopkins. Back behind the net. Connor Brown around the boards. There now Darnell Nurse popped up into the air. Puck will roll back behind the net there. Anton Lundell with it. Lundell in the corner. Puck sent out towards center ice. Nurse out towards center. Picked up there for Leon Draisaitl. Sends it towards the net. Shot save made by Bobrovsky. That was by Connor Brown, actually.
3 on 2 for the Edmonton Oilers as McDavid is there, Kulak is there, Draisaitl is there. And Bobrovsky's able to get that opportunity with his right pad. Just getting it to them. That's the message in both locker rooms and on those benches.
Bobrovsky 18-7 when it comes to overtime in the postseason. Face-offs won there by Adam Henrique. There's a shot, it went wide. Henrique there in front of the goal. Save made by Bobrovsky. Here's Nate Schmidt with it. Schmidt off the boards out towards center ice. Picked up there for Hagee. He'll send one down into the hands there of Stuart Skinner. Down there in the corner, Victor Arvidsson behind the net. Taken there by Jake Wallman. Wallman will just stand there, weigh his options. Well, Wallman down there towards center. This is the 6th instance in Stanley Cup final history when games 1 and 2 went into overtime. Last was back in 2014 with the Rangers and the Kings. On a giveaway, here's Kapanen with it. Kapanen flips one back behind the net. Taken there by Sam Bennett. Bennett there at center. And a scramble for excuse me, Kapanen will take this one. Kapanen feeds it on over there. Darnell Nurse with it. Or is that Kulak? Yep. Kulak sends one down into the corner there for Nico Mikola. On out there, Brad Marchand with it. Here's Marchand with it. Feeds it on over. Cannot connect with Evan Rodriguez. Takes a shot. Got deflected into the corner. There's Corey Perry with it. Picked up there with McDavid. Here's Connor McDavid. And just went right through the crease. Oh my God. And that one sent for an icing. Well, my. Face-off will come to the right here of Bobrovsky. We're nearly 3.5 minutes into this overtime. Draisaitl will take the draw with Lundell. Face-off's one. Here's Bouchard with it. Bouchard sends it into the hands there of Marchand. Marchand. Wow, that one's in the Florida bench, from what it sounded like. My goodness. Well, face-off will come right at center with Draisaitl and I don't even know who that is. Face-off's one though, nonetheless. Here's Reinhart with it. Reinhart chips one down into the corner, back behind the net there for Bouchard. Now they're Barkov with it. They're in front of the goal. Here's Draisaitl with it. Crosses center, Draisaitl. There with Connor Brown down there in the corner. Here's Leon Draisaitl with it. Off the boards there, Carter Verhaeghe. Sent out there towards center with Sam Reinhart. Reinhart will send it into the hands of Stuart Skinner. He'll play it back behind the net there for Jake Wallman. Wallman out there towards center for Draisaitl. Draisaitl, shot save made by Bobrovsky. Nice save by him. Well, for those of you that were expecting your local news right about now, sorry. Blame that on Corey Perry. Face-off will come to the right here of Sergei Bobrovsky. Rodriguez wins the draw. There's Jones with it. Flipping it down ice there for Tkachuk. Tkachuk sends one off the boards. Here's Sam Bennett with it. Bennett feeds one off the boards. There, Nico Mikola. Off the boards back behind the net. Kept there by Stuart Skinner. Skinner feeds one down into the corner. Puck will roll off the boards. Bobrovsky lays it back behind the net. Up there for Rodriguez. Towards center. Rodriguez picked up there by Wallman. Here's Stuart Skinner flipping it around. Arvidsson. Puck picked up there by Evander Kane. Evander Kane off the boards. Here's Nosek there with Evander Kane. Nosek and a scramble for Henrique. Tried to get it on across, could not get there. A little over 5 minutes into this overtime. Skinner will leave it down into the corner there. Boquist back behind the net. Darnell Nurse will take this one. Darnell Nurse with it. Back behind the net. Nurse is just going to stand back there and make us wait. Oh, lovely. Face-off's one. Puck will roll off the boards out towards center. There now for Marchand. Marchand, nice moves. Feeds it on over Lundell. Lundell down there in the corner. Picked up there for Kulak. Kulak feeds it on over Darnell Nurse. There now Arvidsson flips one out towards center ice. Lundell knocks it down. There's Janmark with it. Janmark. Off the boards, Janmark. Feeds one out there for Kulak. Kulak sends it off the linesman and down into the corner. Ekblad feeds it on off there for Barkov. Sasha Barkov back behind the net. Barkov in the corner, slap shot. Went wide back behind the net. Puck taken there by Bouchard. Bouchard up the left side. Down there for Janmark. All alone down there is Wallman. Shot save made. Now McDavid with it. On out Ekholm with it. Ekholm takes a shot, went wide. And a scramble for Draisaitl back behind the net. He's taken down there by Nico Mikkola. Puck sent off the boards into the hands there of Seth Jones. Here's Jones there at center. Sent back in behind the net there of Stuart Skinner. Bennett with it. Nice moves. Here's McDavid. Can he break free? Nope, he cannot. Well, normally he would, but not that time. Here's Kasperi Kapanen with it. Feeding it off there now for Bennett. Bennett. That'll go down for an icing.
One thing that is obvious here at ice level, the Oilers are stretching like crazy here in this overtime period. Obviously the period of the long changes, so you talk about it. So the defense that are coming on and off the ice for the Florida Panthers, they have to be well aware of the Oilers forwards that are stretching.
Face-off will come to the right of Stuart Skinner. Face-offs one. Here's Schmidt keeping it in back behind the net. Rodriguez out there. Bouchard towards center. Now Kulikov. Henry, can he break free? Nope. Kachuk with it back behind the net. Oh boy, Schmidt having a little bit of trouble handling the puck here. Out towards center. And a scramble for Podkolzid. Oh, they're in the corner. Back behind Kasperi Kapanen with it. Kapanen down there in the corner. Back behind the net there now. Podkolzin with it. Kachuk in a scramble for. There's a shot save made by Bobrovsky. Nice save by him. That's Edmonton's 40th shot on goal. Well, coming up Sunday night, we'll have Game 2 of the NBA Finals between the Indiana Pacers and the Oklahoma City Thunder. We'll be on the air for that at 8:05 p.m. Eastern Time. Boy, what a Game 1 that was. Tyrese Halliburton, 0.3 seconds left. Pretty much sealing the deal for Oklahoma City in that game. But, yeah, back to this one. Face-off will come to the right here of Bobrovsky. Lundell will take the draw with, I want to say that's Evander Kane. Yeah, it is. Face-offs one. Here's Ekblad with it down there towards the corner. Puck sent back behind the net there of Bobrovsky. There's Barkov with it. Now there for Verhaeghe. Verhaeghe. There now Aaron Ekblad. Sent out towards center ice. Reinhart with it. Down there in the corner. Oh boy, Frederick is pounded up against the boards there. Here's Verhaeghe with it. Arvidsson takes a shot, went wide back behind the net. Reinhart with it. Up the right side towards center. Reinhart feeds it back in behind the net of Stuart Skinner. Lundell with it. Lundell back behind the net there now. Victor Arvidsson with it. Arvidsson in a scramble forward. Take away. There's a shot. Save made by Skinner. What a stop. That somehow stayed out of the net. Woo. Icing.
The pressure by Verhaeghe. Marchand had jumped on the ice fresh. He faked the shot. He goes to the backhand and Stewart.
Wow. Wow. Just wow.
Oh my goodness, what a save. And then Marchand goes back. Watch this puck go. Second chance. There it is. Oh, off the post.
My goodness.
What a save by Skinner. Wow.
Face-off will come to the right of Skinner. My God. That was the game winner right there. John Klingberg saved the day. McDavid will take the draw with Lundell. Face-offs won by McDavid. Wallman, they have a hard time controlling it. Now it'll roll back behind the net. Here's Lundell with it. Pass out in front. Cannot get to anybody. Marchand was there. Puck sent down into the hands of Losterinen. Puck kept it. Shoot, sorry. Lo siento mucho. Puck sent out towards center ice. There now for Hagee. Here's Lundell. Takes a shot. Save made by Stuart Skinner. Sorry, my. Okay. That's why, okay. Because, as you know, we got taken off the air a little while ago. I finally figured out why. Face-off will come to the left of Stuart Skinner. Draisaitl will take the draw with Rodriguez. Face-off's one puck will roll back behind the net there. Matthias Ekholm. Ekholm feeds one off the boards out towards center ice. Arvidsson with it down there in the corner. Puck yanked out towards center there with Sam Bennett. Ekholm now takes it out towards center. Ekholm feeds one down into the corner. Wide of Bobrovsky. Puck taken behind the net there now. Forsling with it. Puck goes sky high up in the air. Ekholm with it there at center. Ekholm dumps one down into the corner. Forsling back behind the net. Forsling feeds it on off there to Rodriguez. Rodriguez sends it back in behind the net there of Stuart Skinner. Halfway through overtime. Well, probably the first, if I'm being honest. Nico Mikkola with it down there with Podkolzin. McDavid sent out Nurse. A shot got blocked down there in the corner. Vasily Podkolzin with it back in the corner with McDavid. Here's Nurse with it, sending it back in behind the net. McDavid works it down in the corner. McDavid on to Nurse. Takes a shot. Went wide of Bobrovsky. Rebound loose behind the net there for Barkov. Barkov. Uh-oh, somebody. Well, it looks like the stick got shattered into 3 pieces. My God. Puck will be sent out towards center ice there to Seth Jones. Seth Jones feeds it off. Reinhardt takes a shot. Save made. Rebound. What a stop. Stuart Skinner. Woo! And some extras afterwards.
The shot by Reinhardt. Double deflection. Kulak was in the way as well. As he was defending.
Holy smokes. Boy, it's hiding in his blocker. Well, either that or he's going like that, too, with it. Woo! It's heating up in here. I got a fan on over there anyway, but... My goodness. So, 9:05 left to go. Like I said, probably in the first overtime, because chances are we could go long into the night again, like we did last night. Or Wednesday night. And we didn't even go that late either, but... Boy, after not having a single Stanley Cup final game go into overtime last year, we've gotten 2 now in the first 2 games. Kind of funny how that works out sometimes, you know that? Baby. Florida, I think right now they're just trying to not go down 2-0 in the series, because although they would be going back to Sunrise, so I mean, that might not be the worst thing in the world, because, you know, once you get to this stage of the postseason, pretty much every single arena is, you probably don't want to be in if you're the away team, so I mean... Here we go. Face off. Will come to the left of Stuart Skinner. Rodriguez will take the draw with off the line. Well, it doesn't matter because he got kicked out. That was Draisaitl. Now he's replaced with Henrique. Henrique wins the draw. Puck will roll down into the corner. Back behind the net is Brett Kulak. Kulak off the boards out towards center ice. Here's Rodriguez handling it. Rodriguez in the corner. Out towards center. Rodriguez picked up there. Forsling back behind the net. Kachuk feeds it on there to Sam Bennett. Evan Rodriguez now with it out towards center with Aaron Ekblad. Ekblad there now for Arvidsson. Arvidsson picked up there for Brett Kulak. Kulak. Boy. Feeds it on over. Off the boards. Bobrovsky will hang on to it. Oh, and they'll pass it off to Rodriguez. Puck sent down for an icing. That'll help Edmonton. Faux shizzle. I don't know why I said that. Although this is a good test of tomorrow night, so I mean, hey. Face-off will come to the right of Bobrovsky. Boy, Wayne Gretzky just yawned on national television. That's funny as hell. Face-off's won. Here's McDavid with it. McDavid down there in the corner. McDavid sends it on out. Tipped by Perry. Rebound in front of the goal. It's free back behind the net. Lundell with it. Now Draisaitl. And he creams Marchand into the boards. That was a bad term to use for that, but that's okay. Lundell with it down there into the corner. Picked up Bouchard around the boards. Sent out there for Nico Mikkola. On off there to Seth Jones. Jones there for Lostarinen there towards the blue line. Lostarinen, nice toss there. Tipped Lundell. Back behind the net there for Marchand. Here's Draisaitl with it up the right side. Draisaitl back behind the net. They're now with Frederick. There's a shot save made by Bobrovsky. Rebound loose in front of the goal. Down there in the corner. There's a shot save made there by Bobrovsky. Lostarinen with it back behind the net. They're now Nico Mikkola. Taken there by Seth Jones. Off the boards out towards center ice. That'll roll and roll and roll for another icing. 7:02 left to go here in overtime. Imagine they did ties in the Stanley Cup final. That'd be funny as frick. Then you'd have a Summit Series all over again. My goodness. Face-off will come to the right of Bobrovsky. Oh, false start. So we'll try again. Sergey, my goodness. Face-off will come to the right of Bobrovsky. No, of Sergey. Puck will roll off the boards into the hands there of Jake Wallman. Tipped around there at center there for Victor Arvidsson. Now Godjevich with it. Back behind the net, Stuart Skinner. Leaves it there for Jake Wallman. Wallman sent out towards center ice. There now for Nate Schmidt. Schmidt. They're in a scramble for there at center. Kulikov picks this one up. So does Kapanen with it. They're in a scramble for Verhaeghe. Feeds it back behind the net there of Nate Schmidt. Reinhart with it. Puck sent down into the corner. There now for Kulikov. Picked up there by Verhaeghe up the left side. Verhaeghe feeds one back behind the net there of Stuart Skinner. Tipped Kulak. There's Verhaeghe with it. Podkolzin with it. Now with Kapanen in a scramble for. Verhaeghe with it. Podkolzin with it. Sent out towards center ice. There's Stuart Skinner leaving it there for Darnell Nurse. Nurse up the left side there for Podkolzin. Podkolzin feeds one down into the corner. Back behind the net there for Forsling. Forsling there at, well, in the corners, feeding it out towards center. Picked up there Arvidsson. Towards Ekblad. Ekblad off the boards, tipped. Skinner will leave it there for Bouchard. Bouchard out towards center ice. Here's Henry, feeds it off to Connor Brown, takes a shot, save made by Bobrovsky. Here's Boquist with it. Here he goes back the other way. Boquist will dump it back in behind the net there of Stuart Skinner. Now Bouchard will try and fire it back the other way. Puck is in a scramble for though. Bouchard, puck is sent out there towards center. Henrique with it down there with Seth Jones back behind the net. Jones feeds it on over there to Nico Mikkola. Mikkola out towards center. Less than 5 minutes left to go here in the first overtime. Here's John Klingberg with it there for Kulak. Here's Kulak towards center. Kulak pass across. Draisaitl on wall, but he fell on his ass. And now here he comes all alone. Sam Reinhart went wide. My goodness. Now here's Lundell with it. Tipped out there in front of the goal. Holy smokes. Game was on his stick, I'll tell you that much. Verhaeghe, puck sent down for an icing. 4:14 left to go here in overtime. But yet he failed.
Yeah, and watch where Skinner is, top of the blue paint. I don't know that shot was the play, although he does see that low blocker. I think maybe you can go in and try and make it deep, but I got to be honest with you, the ice is not that good. Only one ice scrape in overtime, and 2 less than we normally see in the regular period, so perhaps the ice being poor was the reason why Reinhart chose to shoot.
Here's Kane with it. Now Kane might break free. Kane, nice moves, but a nice poke check there by Forsling. Reinhart with it now. Nugent Hopkins with it. Puck sent down. Off the boards. That'll go for an icing. Well, remember when we had pretty much a game every single night going to overtime during round 1 and round 2 of the postseason? This is kind of similar, I feel. Just in the Stanley Cup Finals.
Swinging that stick like a helicopter. He's able to make the play. One thing I will say, Bush, on the Reinhart play, he can go short, pull it in, and shoot it back towards the goal.
Face-offs won. Here's Tkachuk with it down there in the corner. Tkachuk back behind the net there for Sam Bennett. Bennett back behind the net there with Tkachuk. There's Evan Rodriguez with it. Rodriguez down there in the corner. Picked up there for Darnell Nurse. Frederick down there in the corner, back behind the net, taking there. Brett Kulak whacks it around the boards there for Matthew Tkachuk. Nice moves. Mikkola back behind the net there for Rodriguez. Rodriguez off the boards there. Mikkola slap shot went wide. Rebound went right through the crease from Rodriguez. Oh my God. Puck sent out towards center ice. Now Tkachuk will take this one there at center. Tkachuk sends one tipped down into the hands there of Skinner. Back down there into the corner there with Lundell. Nurse with it down there in the corner. Nurse off the boards. That'll roll and roll and roll for an icing.
Kane, Kulak, and Nurse. This is extended shift, almost $1.30. There's the redirect, and then look at this. Rodriguez just hoping that it bounces in off of somebody as he throws it right through the blue paint. Who's in the blue paint? Yeah, I'm just going to send it. Who's there? Batman. Sam Bennett.
Face-off will come to the right of Stuart Skinner. 2:52 left to go in overtime. Face-off's won. There's a shot got blocked in front. Henrique with it off the boards. It rolls all the way down ice. That'll be an icing.
You got the stick of Brown, and then you got the helmet. Paul Maurice is up on top of the bench. He's
pissed off like always. No, I'm kidding. Oh, God. Okay, we can't air most of it, what he's saying right now.
Bench being told to get the players that were on the ice back on the ice because it's an icing call they deem, although it should not be.
So they do call it an icing. Okay. There's a lot of fucks in there, I'll tell you that much, he's saying. Oh, God, he's pissed.
Now all the rest of the Oiler players have gotten. I think Evander Kane was on the ice.
Well, now they're reviewing it.
Paul Maurice is having, although he did get away with one because this should not be icing.
Now what are they reviewing? My God.
Now all this extra time.
Because you can't just, you know.
Guys that have had extended shifts here.
Oh, well now.
Breathe a little bit.
Oh my God, there's a sheet of paper.
He's skating over and telling head coach Miss Knobloch who should be on the ice. And
Got a big sheet of paper for him who should be on the ice, my God.
that's been out for a minute 42. Kulak. That Nurse should be at 30.
Well, they're just going to have to wait to switch up lines here because, you know.
But that's the protocol. The officials are just following what they're supposed to do.
Yep.
Unfortunately, it was just one of those distorted type of plays.
Face-off will come to the right of Stuart Skinner. Face-off's one. Puck's picked up there by Darnell Nurse. Nurse rolls up the left side. Nurse at center. Nurse feeds it back in behind the net of Bobrovsky. 2.5 left to go here in this overtime. Evander Kane with it back behind the net. There now, low Stuart. Oh, is that Verhaeghe? Yeah, it's Verhaeghe. Icing. At least it's an icing that time. Oh yeah, Paul Maurice is definitely still not happy about that. Face-off will come to the right of Bobrovsky. He's like, yeah, now you call that a fucking icing. There's Draisaitl. Feeds on out there. Bouchard. Bouchard. Shot went wide of Bobrovsky. Puck will roll down there in the corner. There now for Corey Perry. Back down there into the corner there. Draisaitl with it. Back behind the net there with McDavid. Kulikov. Perry with it. Puck taken there by Kulikov out towards center ice. 2 minutes left to go in overtime. Reinhart with it. Hello, J3 videos. Barkov with it, back behind the net, there with Verhaeghe. There's a shot, ooh, Kachuk banned on it. Here's Perry with it, feeding it on off there for Draisaitl. Draisaitl off the boards, down there with McDavid. Puck's in a scramble for, back down there into the corner. Draisaitl with it, feeding it on out there for Kulak. Kulak. Draisaitl, down there in the corner. Kulak. Battling with Bennett. Puck right out there in front, taken there by Rodriguez. Sent out towards center ice. Wallman will take this one back behind the goal. Wallman, puck tipped up into the air. Podkolzin out there towards center. That'll roll into the hands there of Skinner. Now Wallman will take it back behind the net. 1 minute left to go here. Uh-oh, what do they call now? Offsides. Oh, okay. That makes sense. 58.2 seconds left to go here.
Opportunity at the slot. Start of the shift. I will say, you mentioned the ice earlier. It looks considerably worse than what it is in normal periods, just because you don't have the 3 ice scrapes up until this point. So I think it is somewhat of a factor in overtime, the fact that we don't get.
Well, face-off will come here at center. Don't worry, they'll resurface it. Puck will roll back behind the net there of Stuart Skinner. There now with Ekholm. Ekholm tipped out towards center ice. Here's Seth Jones with it. Jones off the boards. Ekholm with it. Down into the corner. That will be an icing with 40.5 seconds left to go. I hope I get to go have lunch tomorrow at the time I have predicted, although it's not for 13 hours. Like, if I can get a 10-hour sleep, then that should be fine. Go to bed at 1. Just hopefully cross our fingers. Face-off's 1. This could go long into the night at this point, but here it is in the corner. Barkov with it in a scramble for. Ekholm behind the net there with Reinhardt. Reinhardt down there in the corner. Reinhardt back behind there with Barkov. Taking there Verhaeghe on out to Seth Jones. Takes a shot. Went wide. Picked up there Kapanen in a scramble for. Puck taken there by Nugent Hopkins. Here comes Frederick. Pass across to Nugent Hopkins. 6 seconds left to go here. Nugent Hopkins. They better get a shot off. Here's Nurse. Takes a shot. Save made by Bobrovsky. And we will go to double overtime. Yes. Oh boy, Nurse is pinned to the ground. Why? Oh, I think he's fine. Well, that'll do it for overtime. Coming up next, we have got double overtime. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere.
Son of a biscuit-eating bulldog.
What the French
Did you
toast?
think I wouldn't find out about your little doo-doo head cootie queen?
Who are you calling a cootie queen, you lint liquor?
Pickle you, kumquat!
You're overreacting.
No, Bill, overreacting was when I put your convertible into a wood chipper. Stinky McStink face!
You Hoboken.
Fabulous. New Orbit Raspberry Mint cleans another dirty map. For a good clean feeling, no matter what.
Hey, Dave, the day's over. Time for Bud Light.
I can't. I have to cut the cheese.
I thought you cut the cheese already.
It wasn't me.
I heard you cut the cheese this morning.
I like to cut the cheese in spurts throughout the day.
You should cut the cheese first thing in the morning like me. Otherwise, it starts backing
I
up.
couldn't. My girlfriend was here this morning, and you know how that goes.
I cut the cheese in front of my girl once. I never heard the end of it.
You ever see a woman cut the cheese?
Nah, they don't do it right. They're too delicate.
My grandmother cut the cheese all the time. Especially as she got older.
Hey guys, I'm gonna be in the back. I'm gonna pinch a loaf.
Want me to pull your finger?
Will you pulling my finger help me cut the cheese?
Oh, yeah. If I pull your finger, you'll be cutting the cheese within seconds.
Oh, yeah. I have to run. Gotta drop the kids off at the pool.
Man, I might just chill tonight.
Puppy monkey baby. 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 Puppy monkey baby.
Mountain Dew Kickstart. Dew. Juice. Caffeine.
Everybody, good evening.
Breakfast. I'm hungry.
Take it from Carinkles. That's me. The best breakfast under the big top is post-sugar rice Carinkles. So crinkly, so delicious, so different. Each grain of rice in sugar rice Carinkles is carinkled with honey and sugar. It's so good, I crinkle every time I eat it. Yet, no matter what other rice cereal you've ever tried, you'll love post-sugar rice Carinkles best of all. Honey and sugar make it different and wonderful. A circus of fun to eat. So you crinkle on down to the store for post-sugar rice Carinkles, the greatest cereal treat on earth.
swim? I don't have my bathing suit. Okay, neither do I. Moon, what could possibly make this moment more perfect?
With a great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down. Make it a Bud Light.
Welcome back, everybody. It is the Overtime Intermission Report. Holy cow. We have just crossed into a new day on the East Coast. It is Saturday morning on the East Coast. It is still 11 o'clock Central Time here in our studio. So, yeah, we haven't quite hit midnight just yet, but we're getting there. 1 hour away at least. Alrighty, we are here with Ducky. Welcome to the show, Ducky. Thank you, Ronnie. So glad to be here tonight. Are you ready to potentially win up to $1 million? Yes! Okay, so here's how this is going to work. You're going to spin, you're going to play the wheel game. So what's going to happen is there's autos, there's some cash, and then there's some strikes out there. So what you're going to do is that you're going to spin the wheel as many times as you possibly can and win as much cash as you possibly can. Does that sound good to you? Yes! Okay, so your goal is to get 5 autos, because if you do, you win $5,000 in cash, and you'll also win a car, which tonight it is a Maserati Ghibli valued at $87,010. However, if you're able to get 5 straight and not take any more spins than that, and 5 spins, 5 autos, then you'll win $1 million plus the car for a total of $1,087,010. So are you ready to go? Yes! Alright, spin the wheel. Ooh, you get a strike. So the million's gone, but you can still win a lot of money. And that's only your first strike, so you're not in any danger. Keep on playing. Auto! Hey, that works. So we'll add $1,000 to your score. Yeah, so you've got $1,000 so far. Let's keep it going. Ooh, another auto for another $1,000. You're up now to $2,000. Let's keep it spinning. You're doing really good so far. Ooh, double your money plus an auto. Haven't hit that yet. Yes, double your money and auto. So yeah, so now you go up to $4,000, plus you got 3 autos, so you're in pretty good shape. Keep on spinning, you're doing well. Come on, let's get that $500 if we can. Yes, $500 in cash. You're up to $4,500. You want to keep that? Well, no, you have to keep playing. You're not in any danger. Might as well earn some more money, right? Yeah. Oh, $1,000 more? Yes. You're up to $5,500 in cash. Boy, let's keep the money going here. Oh, come on, get past the strike, get past the strike, get past the strike. No! Ugh, that's okay, though. You've got $5,500 in cash. If you want to, you can walk away with that money. Or you can go, you can keep spinning, but if you hit a strike, you lose all of your money. So what do you want to do? I'm going to stop. Smart decision. Let's see what would have happened if you would have kept going, though. Oh, you would have landed on auto, unfortunately, Ducky. Well, that's okay. Oh, hang on, though. You would have had 4 autos and 2 strikes. So, what would have happened now is that you would have either won or you would have busted. Or you could have won a dollar amount to extend your game. So now, at that point, you would have had $6,500. So let's see what would have happened if you would have spun again. Oh, another 250, so you would have had 6,750. Had you had kept playing, though, you would have landed on... Oh, please don't tell me an auto. You would have landed on an auto. So you would have won $7,750 plus the Maserati Ghibli, over $94,000. But that's okay, Ducky, right? Yes, that is okay. You still got $5,500 in cash. That is not too shabby at all. Thank you so much for being on our show. Thank you very much. Okay. So I gotta update that. There we go. Well, we are about 5.5 minutes away from a second overtime. Yeah, we could be going long into the night here. That's all I know. So, of course, we'll be here for the ride. And hopefully you will be as well. We'll take a break. We'll be back. Second overtime coming up right after this. Don't go anywhere.
You tried these new berries and cream Starburst?
Pardon me. What kind of starburst did you just say?
Berries.
Berries? Berries and what else?
And cream.
Oh! Oh! Berries and cream, berries and cream. I'm a little lad who loves berries and cream. Berries and cream, berries and cream. I'm a little lad who loves berries and cream.
How do I tell her I'm sorry? Apology bought 3,000. I'm a big fan.
It's time for an apology from...
Yeah, Scott.
You know that little video we made? Well, I kind of sold it to a chain of XXX video stores and spent all the money on lap dances. But hey, Bud Light?
She totally bought it.
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
No one's ever gonna see this, right?
Wrong.
Something happening here. What it is ain't exactly clear. There's a man with a gun over there. He's telling me I've got to beware. I think it's time to stop, children, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Stop.
Master padlocks and door locks are tough under fire.
Step into Wix Studio, the platform for agencies and enterprises. Kick off projects in a workspace that's designed for your workflow. Work seamlessly and experiment freely. And design complex layouts with intuition and precision to that very last pixel. Structure and populate dynamic content fluidly and manage rich content with elegance and efficiency. Accelerate responsive design with AI, optimized for every screen. Create and customize interactions, from subtle movements to advanced behaviors. And see your vision through, from draft to client handover. This is web creation at scale. Flexible, fast, limitless. This is your studio.
What's that? Do you have insurance on this car? No. It must be Eagle Man.
I've got something for you.
Oh, look at those low rates.
Welcome back, everybody. Double overtime coming up in Edmonton here very, very shortly. This is, well, we're making a little bit of history tonight here on RVN because this is the second game ever in RVN history to go into double overtime. So yeah, that is exciting. Of course, we have to look back to April 25th, all the way back in round 1, game number 3 between the Devils and the Hurricanes. Devils ended up winning that one 3-2. And Simon Nemec scored 2 minutes and 36 seconds into double overtime. So we'll see if that turns into the longest game in RVN history. This game does. We'll see. Second overtime here coming up very shortly. Within about 30 seconds, I'd say. TNT, they're just showing like a, I don't know. Well, I guess they mic'd up Evander Kane. That's what happened there. So, yeah. There. Let's get up close to the camera. No, I'm kidding. Okay. Here we go. Ice looks clean. So that's good. Well, here's Evander Kane back out there. He got a little dinged up earlier, but he now is out on the ice. Seems to be doing all right, though. Here we go. If one overtime wasn't enough, we've got a second one here. Although it's kind of was like the PWHL finals a couple of weeks ago when it seemed like, I think all but game 1 went to overtime. Or all but one game actually went into overtime, so yeah, that was kind of unique. Bouchard with it, he'll dump it back in behind the net of Sergei Bobrovsky. I'm sure we'll hear Sergei chants from the crowd here again shortly. Puck taken there by Barkov. Off the boards back behind the net of Stuart Skinner, and an icing is called. You know, once we start getting late into the night, we start saying, oh, hey, it's Saturday morning on the East Coast. But thank God we're not on the East Coast. But it is, we are down to the final 48 minutes of the day here in our studio, so. Face-off will come to the, yep, there goes the Sergei chants. I knew it. They got a freaking arrow on the ice pointing towards Bobrovsky. Just the funny things you pick up on. I gotta tell you. Puck sent off the boards there, out there for Reinhart. Reinhart feeds one down into the corner. There now Lundell. Verhage feeds it around the boards, back behind the net there for Forsling. Forsling fires it back around the other way. Here's Connor McDavid with it. McDavid sends it out towards center ice. Here's Draisaitl with it. Draisaitl up the right side to lose control of the puck, though. Draisaitl with it. Back down there with Reinhart. Here's Reinhart now, feeding it off for Forsling. Corey Perry, he was the one that got us this far. Kulak will handle this one. And he just stands there. Lovely. Puck tipped into the hands there of Boquist. Out towards center ice, Lundell will handle this one. Lundell now Losterinen with it off the boards. There's Mikola's shot save made by Stuart Skinner, and offsides is called. Face-off will come right in front of the penalty box across from the Edmonton bench. Face-off's one, puck will roll out towards center ice. Back behind the net. There now for Klingberg with it. Klingberg around the boards. Picked up there by Seth Jones. Jones off the boards out towards center ice. Oh, played with a high stick. Lovely. Love it, love it, love it. Well, tomorrow night, right here on RVN, we will have another gigantic Saturday. I want to do it at midnight, but I think we might just do it at the original time I had scheduled, like 9 p.m. Eastern time. I don't know if doing it late 2 nights in a row like this is going to be very good, especially for the next door neighbor. But yeah. Anyway, puck will roll back behind the net there now for Kulikov and a scramble for. So yeah, well, maybe even 10 p.m. Eastern time too. We'll see. Kulikov with it back behind the net and a scramble for. Kulikov picked up there by Victor Arvidsson. Here's Klingberg with it. Klingberg takes a shot, got tipped there. Front. Oh, a kick it free though. Connor Brown on now with Bennett. Bennett out towards center ice. Puck sent back in behind the net there of Skinner. Forsling takes a shot, got blocked there in front of the goal. Out towards center. Klingberg will handle this one. Klingberg, nice moves, gets pushed away. Here's Gustav Forsling with it back the other way. Forsling fires it back in behind the net there. Stuart Skinner there. Tomas Nosek with it. Thomas Nosek, sorry. I don't know why I call him Nosek. And call him Tomas too. Oh, it is spelt like Tomas, so I mean, what can I say? Offsides. This is officially the longest game we have covered in NHL history, in RVN history, by 1 second. So yeah, this is the longest game officially we've ever called. I guess congratulations. It's 10-16 in Edmonton, Alberta. Face-offs won. Here's Nico Mikkola with it. Mikkola on over there at center there for Verhaeghe. Puck sent into the glove of Stuart Skinner.
They were down 2-0 in that series against Toronto. And I know with the leads that they've had in the first 2 games, but they're battle tested. Okay, there's a lot of hockey to go. Yeah, you love it going back 1-1 instead of down 2, but I just wonder if not all losses are created equal. Some of them are
Face-off will come to the left of Stuart Skinner. Draisaitl will take the draw with Reinhart.
I don't think they'd sweat it either way.
Face-off's won there by Reinhart. It gets out to the blue line. Verhaeghe shoots it back in behind the net there for Sasha Barkov. Barkov behind the net. Puck sent out there now for Bouchard in a scramble for. Sent out there towards center now for Seth Jones. Jones with it there in the scramble for there with Barkov. Barkov back behind the net. Into the hands there of Matthias Ekholm. Ekholm back behind the net. They'll hang on to it. Ekholm. There in the corner. Let's go Oilers. I thought they were saying let's go Florida there for a second. I had to hear that again. Here's Lundell with it. Lundell. And a scramble for down there in the corner, back behind the net there. Darnell Nurse, there's a shot save made by Skinner. Great stuff by him. Here's Darnell Nurse with it back behind the net. Uh-oh, McDavid taken down there by Marchand, of course, the big rat himself. Here's Kulak now with it. Kulak feeding it out towards center ice. Kulak feeds it on over across. 4 minutes have gone here in this second overtime. There's a shot by Nurse, shot save made there by Bobrovsky. Boy, Aaron Ekblad's hurting. Oh my God. Here's Arvidsson with it. Florida got caught in a line change. Here's Arvidsson on out there. Shot went up high and wide of Bobrovsky. And out of play, yeah. Ekblad, he's bending down like that. That is not good. Not good. Oh, it was just that left wrist. So it wasn't like up here, it was in there. Face-offs one, puck will roll into the corner, off the boards out towards center ice. This will go for another icing. Well, he's going to fight it through. Yeah, he's got a strong grimace on his face, I'll tell you that much. You know, like I said, I thought it was up towards the ribs, but it was his left wrist that got hit with the puck. He might just have to tough it up, at least for the rest of the night here. Face-offs, one puck will roll into the corner back behind the net there. Nate Schmidt in a scramble for it, picked up there for Carter Verhage. Verhage will send it out towards center ice, picked up there with Bouchard. Bouchard there with Corey Perry now with it. Verhage now with Dmitry Kulikov. Kulikov out towards center. Kulikov feeds one back behind the net of Stuart Skinner. Skinner feeds it off into the hands there of Bouchard. Perry with it there towards center. Draisaitl feeds it on across there with McDavid. Offsides is called.
Draisaitl already has 3 OT winners during this postseason, tied for the all-time NHL record.
Most overtime goals during a single postseason. Well, Leon Draisaitl has 3. That's tied for first in postseason history. Mikkola sends it back in behind the net there of Stuart Skinner. There now for Jake Wallman right out there in front. Puck's picked up there by Arvidsson off the boards. Arvidsson up the left side. Arvidsson feeds it back in behind the net there of Connor Brown. Brown off the boards back for Klingberg. Klingberg feeds it on over there. Wallman back behind the net. Mishandled there by Connor Brown. Puck taken out towards center ice there with Barkov. Arvidsson with it. Off the boards back behind the net. Kept there for Nate Schmidt. Schmidt feeds it on over across. Losterinen with it. Puck taken there for McDavid. McDavid with it. Back behind the net. Or Kulak, I guess. Puck will roll off the boards. Towards the blue line, back behind the net. There now Lundell with it. Back for Marchand. Marchand there in the corner. Puck's in a scramble for it. It rolls around the boards. You know what? I'm just not even going to do a Saturday night stream around night. I'm just going to take the day off tomorrow for streams. Here's Kulak with it back behind the net. There's a shot got blocked there in the corner there with Nugent Hopkins there for Losterinen. And a scramble for, boy, Ekblad and Kane really going after each other now, I'll tell you that much. Kulak. Here's Ekblad with it, back behind the net. Ekblad feeds it on off there for Forsling. Forsling back there for Verhage. Verhage offsides. Face-off will come right in front of the penalty box across from the Edmonton bench. Face-off's one. Puck will roll into the hands of Nico Mikkola. Mikkola off the boards. Down there into the corner, back behind the net. Stuart Skinner plays it around the boards. Someone lost their twig. Broke it, too. Gas centering pass shot stopped by Bobrovsky. Oh, baby. And that keeps this game going. Holy smokes. Kapanen wants to know, how in the world did he save that? Face-offs one, puck will roll into the corner. There now for Bouchard. Bouchard in a scramble for it, taken there by Alexander Barkov. Feeds it on over across. Puck will roll into the corner, back behind the net there now with Bouchard. Bouchard, Wallman around the boards, picked up there for Draisaitl. Draisaitl in a scramble for there with Reinhardt. There's Ekblad with it. Ekblad feeds it on over, cannot connect with anybody. Here's Verhaeghe with it. Verhaeghe with it back into the hands of Bouchard. Bouchard. There's Corey Perry with it. Perry trying to get by a couple of defenders. Now Draisaitl with it back behind the net. Draisaitl right out in front. Shot went wide. 8 minutes have gone here in the second overtime. Here's Marchand with the game on his stick. Marchand shoots! Scores! Brad Marchand wins it in double overtime. This series is tied. At 8:05 of double overtime, Marchand has ended it. On the 42nd shot of the game for Florida, 88 total. Oh my goodness. Marchand. His second goal of the night and 7th of the postseason. My goodness. Marchand, beautiful 5-hole through Stuart Skinner's legs. Oh my God. I don't even... No, he didn't, I don't think. He pulled a Nikita Kucherov. He didn't do it. Wow. Oh my goodness. Well, we go back to Florida, tied up at 1. That's probably what Florida wanted, and that's definitely what they got for sure. 88 minutes and 5 seconds of hockey played tonight. Let's see, this game started at 7:22 Central Time, and it just ended, well, about 4 hours and 3 minutes in real time. Just holy crap. Thank you all so much for watching us here this evening. Boy, it has been quite the night. Like I said, we're just going to take the day off tomorrow, just because we went past at least probably about an hour more than we should be. So yeah, we'll just find another night to do all that other fun stuff. So yeah, no stream tomorrow night like planned. Yeah, I'm just going to take the night off. So yeah, and kind of, because, you know, I rarely ever get a Saturday off around here because I'm always on here doing shows. So yeah, so I'm going to take that time to maybe spend some time with some of my family tomorrow night, and I think that's what I'm going to do. Anyway, that'll do it for us. Listen to my voice here tonight. Depending on what your affiliate wants to show, it'll either be your late local news, either be that, or the RVN News at Night, or RVN Late Night, depending on, you know, whatever, like I said, your station wants to show. On the East, I think, East and Central, I think we'll just go straight to RVN Late Night. Mountain and Pacific, you'll probably see your local news in the RVN News at Night. If not, you can see them on RVNX. Good night.